Alright, welcome. We already start recording. So that is already the intro. So we have a new entrance today, Nicholas Pang. What's up, Nicholas?
Not Vincent.
Not Vincent. Yes, earlier just now I said his name. Because I have a friend called Vincent Pang. What's up, Vincent, if you're watching? And reminds me of Vincent Pang, but his actual name is Nicholas Pang. So Nicholas, why don't you introduce yourself first? Because we already did last episode.
Well, I'm Nicholas. I know Abol from a group. In fact, I know Jasz from that group too.
Oh, okay.
That Facebook group, yeah.
Alright, cool. So we are all from the secret society we talked about in the first episode.
How are y'all?
Like
Okay.
7,000 people.
There's 7,000 people worth of secret society. Ooh.
Is that group that big?
So anyway, Nicholas, the rule of this, there's no like rule or anything. If you want to drink. If you want to smoke. You want to vape. So today we're gonna start out with a bit of current issues. Earlier this week, Kari Jamaluddin said that we're gonna start this endemic thing, meaning that we're not gonna care about Thasha, your video. Yeah, we're not gonna care about the numbers anymore. We're just gonna live on our life. It's the same as the Live with COVID initiative in Europe. What do you guys think about that? Would you still go out? Yeah, in Singapore.
South Korea is doing it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Will you still go out, knowing the numbers that we have? What about Carl? Carl, let's start with you, Carl.
I mean, as of now, I'm still very homebody. As of now, I mean, eventually, I would like to go back to normal, or as normal as we can get to, lah.
But even before COVID, you never really did go out, right?
No, I went out to, obviously I have to go to the gym and
Called out. My goodness.
I go to the gym. I go hang out with my friends. I got friends, dude.
Okay, I thought since we've been playing Overwatch every night for the last 3 years, we're like, when did you go out? So okay.
Yeah, then the rest of the day, what am I doing?
Right.
What do you think I'm so bad at the game?
Alright, cool. Calm down, Carl. Jasz, who is sewing apparently. What do you think?
Yes.
Would you be going out, or would you like still very?
To a limited effect, I think. Like as much as I want to see friends and all that, right? But like I think I will limit it to maybe once a week for a social gathering or something. Of course, we'll still go out for necessities, or we'll still just get stuff delivered as per what we've been doing. But I mean, it's okay if I live alone, but I live with family and I have high risk family members, and I'm young and able-bodied, I'm double vaxxed, everything's fine, but I don't want to risk getting something and then passing it to my high risk family members.
Understand.
That's my issue.
What about you, Thasha? I mean, you probably like the younger generation would probably like don't mind this, or will you still be afraid?
Honestly speaking, I am afraid because like I don't want to go out because I go to my office to do work, which is like to teach students. I mean, like we don't teach in physical classes, but I usually go to the center for the Wi-Fi with my boss and my other colleague, and then I also occasionally I go to visit my granddad because he's old, and I don't want to miss him, because a lot of people have like older family members passing away thanks to COVID, and they can't visit them for one last time. So I really don't want to go out. Although at the same time, these four walls are really like suffocating me. So like it's like I can't. As much as I want to say like, okay, all my family members are vaxxed, it should be fine. Like I don't want to risk passing it on to someone else, especially with my boss having her father who just came out from the hospital, and he's like 80 something, and
Cool. Nicholas. Sorry, either Nicholas or Vincent. It works.
You know what? You can't keep going on with Vincent. I don't mind. I had a billion mispronounced nicknames in my childhood. One moment.
Gosh.
I'm cursed with it, so.
You should feel bad, man. You should feel bad for putting him there.
I am sorry. Carl knows this. I cannot even say right and left.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So
You
Nicholas,
should get tested for dyslexia. Really, seriously, Dobo.
I'm afraid I might have dyslexia. So
Yeah,
Nicholas,
if you have trouble reading, then sure, I think you might.
I don't like
that
to
out.
read. That's the trouble of reading.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, these books behind me, right? It's just like I have to read these books for my writing and stuff. But generally, I don't like to read.
So
I'm
the books
diagnosing
are-
you with laziness.
I'm
diagnosing you with laziness.
So like the books are like a paid actor or what?
The books are like, okay, I read these
Decoration.
books, I can write. That's it.
They're just decor on the wall.
So Nicholas, what do you think about the COVID? Where do you live, by the way?
I'm living quite near Seri Kembangan. It's near the IOI City Mall. Probably like 5-10 minutes. The area the area I'm in has maybe like 1 or 2 cases, but I'm double vaxxed. Sadly, Sinovac. I don't trust the vaccine that much because the amount of data that came out is very minimal. So you can't tell, and China's still hiding that data. The only one that they keep harping about is the research in Chile that says it's 80% effective. I'm high risk, and COVID's like a die roll. You roll a dice, you get a good roll, and you get away with, like, I don't know, some body ache, flu symptoms, and after a week you're done. Or even with vaccine, there's still a chance you might end up in the hospital. So it's hard to say. It's all a gamble. Do I want to make that gamble? With this current vaccine, not so much. I do want to go out.
Which vax are you on, if you don't mind saying?
Sinovac.
The Chilean study was Sinovac. I've seen that one. I think yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
like? I don't remember which country produced which. I know that China.
Sinovac is China.
Okay,
Sino,
Sinovac's China.
China, Sino.
All right. That makes
Sinovac,
sense.
I think those are the only 2.
Pfizer is which one? Europe.
Pfizer
Pfizer is
America.
Germany and America. Germany and America.
And
America's
that's
claiming
the-
all the credit though.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. But
BioNTech.
and then there's the Oxford AstraZeneca, the English one.
Oh, so they. I normally I thought this AstraZeneca was like the way they talk about it. I thought it was Chinese, but it's actually British.
It's British. It's Oxford AstraZeneca.
It's a lot of misconception on how bad it is, because when you look at the data, the blood clot rate is nearly there when it comes to, say, Pfizer. So plus minus a little bit of that percentage. If some of us here are gamers, we look at the percentage like that's nothing.
No, fuck no. If you play D&D,
No, as in
you
like the
know
blood
that
clot.
you can absolutely fail a 2% saving throw. You can fucking fail that. 20% is not low.
Sorry? 20?
20% is absolutely not fucking low.
Wasn't the blood clot like close to 1 in a million?
Okay, 1 in a million is still like, do you want to risk being that one person?
But that's the thing. It's when it comes to all sorts of this risk, the way I see it is like people talk about, say, blood clot in Malaysia, and one of the ways I used to argue is just looking at Selangor itself. So far, there's no blood clot cases for AstraZeneca to date, and I think we have close to 500,000.
Yeah.
And if I want, it's a bad example, but if let's say you want to compare to a death rate via a construction site having something fall on your car, Selangor is 2 in 2020, but yet we will still drive through those highways. We will still go through that because we're like, what is that? I think it's the perception on how we see it, because now this is the hot topic. This is so urgent, and what's annoying is the media plays it so big and so wide. Anyone will be like, oh, so and so had like an allergic reaction to this, and he ended up hospitalized, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, that guy's so young, this and that. That might be me.
Yeah, true.
But but if you compare it to like the construction site having something fall in your car and killing the person.
No, I like that example actually. I was watching the movie Midway the other day. You know that movie Midway?
Oh no, sorry.
2019 is
What
about
is-
the Battle of Midway.
Yeah, what
and then the Nick Jonas is in that movie, and he actually said this line which I really liked. He said, "You never know how you're gonna go, so why worry about it?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
so
but
I think what we can do is we can do the best. We do our best, and everything else is what will happen. Will happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's very much a risk assessment thing. Because
Yeah.
the chances of you getting COVID and dying is far higher.
Yeah,
Getting
for sure.
ill
I agree
and
with that.
dying is
Yeah.
far higher. But you talk about, say, blood clot and everything else. You look at the percentage. You're still going to risk it. But bringing it back to like video games, are you going to take the lousy white armor that's low stats and walk up to a mob
most
versus
females, like most females in games, the stronger they get, the sexier they get. So
look, it's for your agility.
Cosmetics. Yeah.
Oh
You
gosh.
get that skins.
Yes, but like the best vaccine is still the one that you've taken, and like
True,
as
yeah,
long as you
true.
have the vaccine, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean,
You at least
it's
have a defense.
yes,
Yeah.
Better than
exactly.
walking on butt naked.
It's something. It's
Yeah, but
something.
the thing is, right? The thing is, this is like what our government has been building to since the very beginning. This is the egg in the basket. This is the thing that they're waiting for. They're waiting for this number of people getting vaccine, the herd immunity, and then we're done. What if it fails? That is what I'm afraid of.
But KJ has changed the strategy though.
To what? I didn't.
What's his recent one?
on Facebook.
Living with COVID.
Yeah,
He
I thought
announced
the
it a few
endemic
days
is
back.
like living with COVID is
Yeah.
because of the number of vaccines, right? It's because the number of vaccines have reached a certain number. Then he started the living with COVID. I don't think it's a change of strategy. I think that's what they're going for all along.
Yes, I agree.
So what if it fails and then what? You know?
I mean, I wouldn't know about it failing because even before KJ introduced it, I think it was like 3 to 4 months ago. I saw a journal published by one of the AstraZeneca researchers, and he said that it's very likely for it to be an endemic, something like polio, where like you just have to live with it and get
Common
the strength.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just take the vaccine for it, and then
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
we lost.
No,
No, it
No,
just
he's
happened.
still
It
there.
happened.
It
It
happens.
happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
ignore the pussy.
Sometimes I'm a
Just
cat.
let go.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm a cat.
It's similar to 200 years ago they had polio, people died, and then once they get vaccinated, then people just build stronger immune systems. It's like
No, it's actually
To be a little bit of a devil's advocate, because Delta is proving like a big curveball, and I mean like Pfizer has spoken about needing the third shot.
The booster, yeah.
Yeah, I think living with it, it's still the ultimate goal. I think KJ is not showing all the cards in his hand, and I think the way how the opposition played, like Lim Ki-sak actually challenged him. I think alongside, if I'm not mistaken, Hannah Yo was also asking to like you need to test, you need this, it needs to be more stringent. But with that, it's going to cost the government money,
Yes,
and
and
it's something that we currently don't have.
well, it's not the fact that we don't have the money; it's the fact that this country has always fallen short when it comes to enforcement. Enforcement of anything, right? Traffic laws, drug use, etc. Right? It's always enforcement. So this whole endemic thing, right? Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to enforce any of this? Are they going to enforce any of this checking? What's going to happen?
It's
The follow-up.
always be a touchy issue.
Yeah, the
It's
follow
going to
up.
be a touchy issue because like recently you look at the Sultan of Selangor. He called out teachers at I think religious schools specifically that he pointed out. They say he's disappointed that you are not getting vaccinated, and then yet you want to open things up. On one side, the current it doesn't matter whether you're opposition or you're the current government. You still have to play that ball. You still have to play nice because it's a majority vote, and it's not easy now more so than anything else, because on one hand you want to please, you need to please your voter base. On the other hand, you have people dying left, right, and center, which is going to piss off the voter base, and on top of that, all your rich backers who wants to open up. And I think Malaysia's economy is. I mean, we can bounce back. We have bounced back before. We have a robust economy, and when we open up, I think in the snap of a finger, China's going to flood back. Chinese tourists going to flood back Malaysia, and we're just going to be easily come back. we're robust that way. We're still loved by tourists who come here. That's the one thing I've been seeing.
I like how positive you are, Nick.
But the thing is, right? If you
I
remember
think we
back
can come back, but it's going to be a long process.
Yeah. So looking back at
before we
the
continue, I just want to confirm, we are recording, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, because I don't see the notif, so I was just wondering.
You don't feel what?
Like that recording icon that appears at the side.
No, because I'm recording like separately on a third
Okay.
party software. Yeah, I don't trust all these
Cheeky.
Google stuff.
Thasha, your background is very fascinating. I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, Carl is trying to figure out the formula.
I'm trying to solve COVID.
So anyways, remember Tash said just now about the polio thing? Actually, the closest example is Spanish flu or our
Spanish fly?
yes, our health minister call it Spanish fly. So okay, Spanish flu.
Former health minister.
So you know how it ended? They had vaccines all that time. They did come up with vaccines and everything, but it didn't work. And the only way it ended is it just ended. After 2 years, it just lost steam and then it ended like that.
They also were very aggressive. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one where enforcement raid houses because parents didn't trust the vaccine, and anti-vax were around back then, and parents would shove their kids up on top of chimneys, and you have to go look for them, drag them out, stab them, and then just move on.
We have also had less medical knowledge back then, so we were just leaving people to die in the streets, that kind of thing. And we don't have that nowadays, thankfully.
Yes, no burning of every family member of somebody who's gotten the back plague, right?
Yeah, so I think that's something to look forward to. That's something I look forward to, the end of the pandemic. Just that COVID die off, I think that is the main thing that I'm looking forward to, instead of
I badly want to travel.
However, with the recent variants, I swear, if people don't get vaccinated, if we don't find a way to curb with it, we're gonna have to start studying all the Greek letters.
No, there's a new one out now. It's Mu.
Yeah.
The Mu variant. MU.
Does anyone know how the variant came about?
Which one, Mu?
No, all these variants. Why does it come about?
Oh, so I'm not so good at biology, but I did take the course, just a bit lah, like what I know. Basically, when our body multiplies proteins, right, our mRNA system, they tend to make mistakes. Like maybe 1 in a million, they make mistakes. Yeah, our body makes mistakes, So when it's so sometimes these mistakes. That's cancer, by the way. Yes, that is the whole basis of cancer. It's a mistake in our system.
Yeah.
So when it makes mistakes, most of the time it's just a harmless mistake. Like it makes that mistake, and then the mutation makes the disease weaker, something like that. Most of the time, but you get the off chance that the mutation actually makes it stronger. So these mistakes will sometimes, very rarely, produce a stronger variant. So that's how these things come about.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying when you think about it, because every COVID variant that we've encountered has literally boosted up.
Not necessarily, though. Not necessarily. They're still researching on so that the categories, right? Variants of concern, variants of interest. So right now, the only right now, Mu is a variant of interest. They're still looking into. Even Lambda, I think, is still a variant of interest.
Lambda was a while ago, actually.
Yeah, concern is Delta. That one is definitely a variant of concern.
Yeah,
It's a triple mutation on the spike protein, which allows it to attach better to our ACE receptors, which is like the receptors in our nose and throat and all this.
Yeah,
which is why kids don't really get affected by it that much, because they don't have as many of those receptors as we do.
Okay.
So that's how that works. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we end this issue, I would just like to say this is another example of how historians and scientists fuck up. They have a chance to name the variants very cool names like Doom variant or Awesome variant, and then call it Mu. Mu variant. How do you die?
They wanted to call it the Chinese virus, remember? And then they stopped naming it after countries because they felt it was discriminatory.
Okay, don't call it Chinese.
Sense, yeah?
Don't call it Chinese variant. Don't call it Chinese virus. So call it something awesome.
No, but they started out with calling it the Wuhan virus.
Yeah.
That's where it came about, right? That was the first outbreak was in Wuhan.
Do you know why Spanish flu is called Spanish flu? Because
It came from Spain.
during Spanish flu, when it broke out, the whole world was in war, and nobody wanted to report to their own people that they have flu because they were all in war, and they want to keep people's morale up so that they will build more bullets and tanks and whatever. The only country in Europe that is that is like not in war is Spain. So they don't give a shit about what the people read. So they just print about the flu, and since everybody else thought that since Spain was the first one who printed out the news, and everybody thought the flu came from Spain, they call it Spanish flu.
Yeah, but what war though? You're talking about World War
World War
One?
One. It was
War
actually
One.
I mean,
the end of World War
the
One.
end of World War One. Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That was why the Spanish flu was so deadly, because of the mustard gas they used at the end of the World War One.
Yeah, right, yeah,
Because
yeah.
the soldiers got the flu, and they had mustard gas, so it
And they were
mutated.
already weakened.
Yeah, and
the
it
chest and
mutated with the mustard gas and became
Yes.
so deadly. It killed people by the minute.
If you look at it back then, we're idiots. So humanity are really dumb and a lot of questionable
I mean,
Hello,
positions.
humanity
I mean,
is still dumb.
we still are.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah, the Mu variants.
Oh, don't get me started. I would burn half the world in a heartbeat because of how dumb it is.
the Mu
That's what
variant-
COVID is doing. That's what COVID is doing.
Yeah, COVID is doing that for you.
COVID is just showing that, look, if you're not smart on like just basic decency and
Yeah,
whatnot,
yeah.
you're
That
going
was
to die.
There was the scientist who really put it in a very good way. I really agree with this statement. He said, "We are witnessing Darwinism on a very rapid scale."
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
which I love that line. I love
Survival of the fucking fittest, right? That's what
Yeah.
Darwin was saying, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Actually, at this point, it's surviving of the fucking smartest and also a little bit of luck. You can't run away from this, no
It's
matter how smart
adaptability.
you are. So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how well you can adapt. It's not whether you're strong or weak or what. It's how well you can adapt. That's how the human race was
and
born.
like how logical you can think, because anti-vaxxers are really not logical at this rate.
Oh my god.
maybe we should try to get an anti-vax into this.
Common sense is no longer
right?
common. People.
Common sense is so rare, it should be classed as a super fucking power.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, so but I still think they could have named the variants a bit cooler. So to the next,
Okay, fine. What would you call it?
I will call
Yeah,
it
let's go
instead
there.
of the Mu variant, I will call it the N-all variant.
Omega, it's called
That's gonna.
Omega.
Then what difference are you? What is the
that's kinda
difference
sad,
between you?
right?
What's the difference between you and the media? You're gonna create fear. And all.
Yeah, but it's
But that's the
coolest.
thing, if-
I mean, like
if it doesn't end all-
when they look at this in 100 years, we're like, oh, what? Your granddad died because the N-all variant? Ooh, you
The
know?
apocalypse variant.
But
The
it's kind of
apocalypse
risky, right?
variant. The Wolverine
It's really kind of
variant.
risky because they need to classify it now. So giving it like generic name is better. If this is the end all, and let's say Mu doesn't pan out as end all as it is, and Delta's still the king, end all, and then was like not so end all.
No,
So
Delta will always be
actually
the Thanos variant. Delta will
Yeah,
be the Thanos
that-
variant.
Delta would be the end all variant.
Yeah. Plus, like I believe the reason why they use like Greek numbers is because like it's at every country studies Greek numbers. You know, like I don't know. It's considered what basic.
It's quite universal, yeah.
Yeah, universal.
It's universal in the.
Are you sure about that? Our health minister cannot even differentiate between fly and flu.
Spanish fly, man. It's a product, right? It's a product.
It's
It's like Tongkali, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.